Guess we're about to find out.
Well, he's not a ones main like the other two, so that might give him a chance.
Alternatively, it gives him less of a chance. Because I feel like a ones main's going to play it slightly more defensive in terms of things.
Maybe, and we're about to find out.
But the Rolf kickoff coming in clutch, going in for the first goal, 4 seconds in, looking good for Kaydop.
Hey, it's a warm-up kickoff. It's a warm-up kickoff. He's just getting used to it.
Just got Kaydop probably getting caught off. Yeah, it's just going to be confused French noises at this point. But as we go into this kickoff, oh, Kaydop with a mistake on the kickoff. Couldn't decide whether he wanted to go for it or whether he wanted to fake. Kind of went for both and it put him out of position. He didn't. I don't think he noticed that what's it called? Nexto 2 was on the diagonal, and it just kind of the Rolf kickoffs coming in to save the day. As this kickoff doesn't really go in Kaydop's favour either. Nexto will have a dribble. These are the dangerous things. We've seen it catch out loads of people beforehand. And it seems to have caught Kaydop off guard as he flicks it over and slams it into the net.
Nobody quite expects the first Nexto flick. We've seen this again and again.
Yeah, game one is always just oof.
That's what I say. At the point when the first flick comes in, you think, it's a bot. What can it do? And then suddenly it just gets a perfect flick, and you're
like, oh, it's a bot. That's what it can do.
it seems to know what it's doing when it plays the game, and we can see it again, speeding it slightly ahead of what Kaydop seemed to be ready for, and getting another goal to be 4-0 up in 30 seconds. Now, I don't want to alarm everyone in chat, but it wasn't that bad when I was 1v2ing them. So therefore, better than Kaydop.
You know, judging by the scoreline, Mal, I think you and I put together, we're actually better than Kaydop.
Just how it is. As they now score another goal. Oh no, they don't. It's the age-old Nexto off the post shot. Thought he'd fix that. Must have learned to hit the post again. But this time, Nexto dribbling downfield, tries to get it round Kaydop, but just sends it to the corner instead. The bot now dribbling it slowly. Flicks it up high, goes for the other touch. It's over the top of Kaydop, and it's an open net for the second one.
You know,
honestly,
maybe
Kaydop seems to be struggling with the 1v1 situation here.
Yeah, maybe skipping into the 2v2 might have been a little premature.
Well, you can't blame someone for wanting to just jump into the deep end. Oh, but he has got this one, and that is an open net off the kickoff, and the first goal for Kaydop.
There we go. He's warmed up now. Now things are going to start picking up.
We just want to see Kaydop right now. Just bring it back to 5-5. It is going to be very interesting because obviously we've seen from the 4 or 5 other show matches that we've had with just pros and other good players that a lot of them always struggle on this first game. And then the second game, they kind of start to figure out where it's going wrong. And it's really the third game that's the make or break a lot of the time. Of either they've figured it out and they win the game, or they just completely lose the best of 5 because they can't manage to either figure it out or be able to pull off a way to beat Nexto.
Yeah, we always seem to see people have a little trouble getting used to the bot early on. But once they catch on, I mean, especially after a game or two, then it seems to go a little better.
It's just more having to sit on defense and just hold off shot after shot after shot for like 5 minutes, waiting for an opening. That's telling him to forfeit at 3:30.
Oh, no. I wonder if the reason it takes a little longer than maybe it seems like it normally would to get used to these bots is because they kind of look, you know, at a glance, they don't look super good to these players who are used to, you know, very high level professional Rocket League players, but they're, you know, maybe it's easy to get surprised by how precise and quick their shots can be.
Yeah, I think it was Moxie when he played who said that Nexto seems to use flicks that were like really common in, I think he said 2015 kind of time.
He called them, he was mad about the 2015 flicks, he said.
So it was like, it's a really old flick maybe that they're just not used to because it's been not used in ages. Although, to be honest, flicks are just kind of flicks to me, but Maybe there's a difference.
We don't understand. We're not good enough. This is a new level
Yeah.
of flicks.
I just kind of hope to hit the ball high, whereas the pros just always get it. Oh, but Kaydop missing the boost there, putting him on defense as Nexto gets another fast flick. So for anyone who's new in the chat and hasn't figured it out already, Nexto, big fan of flicks. Generally, because of how machine learning goes, it's a lot easier for them to learn the ground play and stuff like flicks than it is air dribbles. It does know how to aerial though, but you won't really see many purposeful air dribbles, or at least many common air dribbles. I think I saw one maybe happen in the last show match, but generally Nexto will try and stay to the floor wherever possible, I've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely much more prone to safe ground plays and sort of basic mechanics than anything fancy. And just just so everyone in the chat is clear, Nexto is the bot. Just if the scoreline wasn't a little confusing there.
Just gotta clarify them things occasionally. It seems like, is it really pros come on to face Nexto? Or is it pros come on to lose Nexto and get flamed by us? Because that's
Well,
what
it
seems
is
to
an
have
unfair
become.
match. To be fair, he would definitely, he would obviously stomp the 1v1 like we've seen other pros do. So just a little fun.
We saw the age-old bump plays there from Nexto, bumping his teammate to get the ball up high. But for anyone who wasn't here for the Moxie 1v2, it is definitely a VOD worth watching, as Moxie wouldn't stop playing until he won a match. So it kept going and going and going.
I think the
started out as
scoreline
a best
was,
of
15-1.
Yeah, I was about to say, it started out as a best of 5 and ended as a best of like 27 or something like that.
And here we see Kaydop not having, or having just about as much luck as Moxie did in his first matchup against the 1v2. But it'll be interesting to see if Kaydop can learn to adapt a little differently or faster than Moxie was able to.
I was about to say, we saw it from Fairy Peak when he played. Compared to Moxie, he had figured it out or had managed to adapt a lot quicker. And just even then, with how quick Fairy Peak adapted as a ones player, still didn't manage to beat Nexto in 2v1.
Yeah, I
but
think
just-
Fairy,
asking-
he was. Oh, sorry, you can go ahead, Regular.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I
Everyone
think Fairy, he's known for his adaptive playstyle. He's really a terrifying ones player because of how well he's able to read the play, and then not only read the play, but turn it around so that it's in his favor. And I think that really came through in the 1v2 against Nexto, where the first game was a pretty big stomp, but then Fairy actually he took a game on the second try against Nexto 1v2. So that really shows that
Kaydop
he's
with a breakaway. Just snuck it by both of them there, I think. Yeah, just caught me in the corner lacking.
caught them out of position. That's another a good punish on the double commit, which is interesting because we see Nexto double committing a lot of the time, and it seems like even though they double commit a lot, it's even kind of hard to punish them for double committing, which is strange coming from a human perspective, because obviously when you see oh my god. that of course is not hard to punish. I mean, come on, look at that. Who's going to stop that flick? But yeah, usually you think double commits, that's like out of position, immediate punish, but we see Nexto double committing a lot, and it doesn't seem to go against it all that much, so it's interesting.
What we have figured out is that Nexto has managed to perfect the double commit. Now I know a good few people who would enjoy that. But there's good clear here from Kaydop. This is the kind of stuff that we need to see. We want high hits, aerial plays, and stuff like that. That is what Kaydop needs. I'm still going with the... Yeah, I was about to say, I'm still going with the idea of a ceiling pinch works. Moxie agreed with me, kind of, when he joined the voice chat. He said just more fast aerial plays, but I would consider a ceiling shot as a fast aerial play. But we see now with 4 seconds left, it's 12-2. Kaydop just completely smashed in the first game, but it is more of a figuring out what's going on situation than a proper who's going to win. We all knew it was probably going to be.
I think he's got his footing now, hopefully, or at least certainly a little more than he was at the beginning of this match. So it'll be interesting to see how match 1 and match 2 go.
Yep, and Nexto trying for that last goal, but decides to drop it.
Just giving him the hope.
Oh look, Kaydop's keeping count for me as well. It's even better.
Replay.
You can see from that first match,
Very edge.
Nexto 2, 17 shots.
This guy
to 9
edge just
goals.
doesn't want to go to the next game, I guess.
Well, you got to look at the post-match stats. Come on, you got 22 shots from both Nextos compared to 7 from Kaydop. This is not only this is what I was saying about the having to defend for 5 straight minutes, because Nexto just slammed shot after shot after shot, and unless you can find an opening, you're just sat there taking the hits until either you let one in or they let you out, and most of the time it's you letting one in.
Yeah, it's really this relentless pressure from Nexto that we've seen in almost every show match now. In the 1v2, it's just shot, reposition, shot, reposition, shot, reposition. There's always one of them. You know, there's never a time where your goal is safe. It seems like there's just this constant pressure.
Yeah, you just have, because it's like we said about the perfecting of the double commit. They just seem to have a perfect rotation in the offensive half. Like, one goes in, hits the ball, you think, oh, I've saved it, it's nice and safe now, and then suddenly somewhere from midfield, the other Nexto is just there on the ball instantly.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, so every time you think that there's a clear, it actually was not a clear. You know, Nexto is just somehow there.
Yeah, Nexto just wants you to attempt to clear it to get an easy shot on that. Though
Yeah.
Kaydop may be figuring out what needs to do,
Yeah.
and he has
There we
slammed
go,
in the
that's
nice
clean.
aerial play. Good flip reset to slam it in just under the crossbar.
What a great shot. And these are definitely going to be the most promising ways to get goals past Nexto. It's definitely by far the weakest on these fast aerial plays, just like what Moxie was saying the other day, is that, yeah, it really is not very good in the air, and so you can pretty easily outspeed it, I think, if you fly the ball around.
Yeah, so long as you're keeping the trajectory of the
Oh.
ball changing, Nexto seems to struggle. Oh!
Not all the time, though, with a very close air dribble. But the goal line
And it's
save,
just
and wow,
the
it
strong
even got
follow-up.
converted into a goal. That's incredible. You have to keep in mind that during training, Nexto has likely either never seen a full like end-to-end air dribble like that, or you know, if it has seen one, it's been extremely rare. So the fact that it can save those kinds of shots is really impressive.
It's just about, I think most of its like shot saving from there has probably just come from the fact that it flicks on itself every single time, or at least at
Yeah.
the start by the looks of it, it's probably been flicking on itself every single time. And at that point you get a lot of lofted high balls, so you have to know how to actually hit them, which has kind of helped just with aerials in general, because once you can aerial in defense, you just move it downfield. But we see Kaydop completely defending the net right now. Nexto hasn't managed to get a shot that I would consider dangerous in the past 20 or so seconds, which is definitely a change from the first game. See
Yeah,
Kaydop
it definitely
much
seems
more-
like Kaydop is able to handle the pressure of these constant shots on his net a little better than what we're used to seeing. But even so, I mean, look at how long he spent in the goalie box, or you know, even just in his half now. It's been what, 30 seconds, and we haven't seen a transition yet. Although now this might be changing as he goes in for the air dribble,
and he nails
gets
the
flip
same
reset.
flip reset. I was
He's
about to say, the
figuring it
thing, the thing you can see, especially you see it a lot more with the pros, which is why I think a lot of the lower ranks will struggle with Nexto, especially in a 2v1. You see that like Kaydop has spent a lot of the time in his own half. Not only is he stuck defending, he's stuck defending on very low boost. So it's not just being able to like defend a net, it's defending a net without the ability to properly defend a net.
Oh,
Which
no.
which is what the pros have to do, but the bump off the boost there was just saddening.
Boost grab into a bump into a shot. You hate to see it. That's the most tilting way to lose.
Let's just hope that Kaydop can come back from a thing like that, and a good pre-jump from Kaydop there. So you can see, look, the aerial shots do come on for the attack for Nexto, as well as defense. It's just much more noticeable in defense because a lot of the time it's just flicking in attack. But we see them trying to get a shot off here, and they do kind of run into each other. Kaydop doesn't want to jump for it because Nexto's already up by the time Kaydop had decided. So we have, just to point out for anyone who also hasn't seen Nexto play much, Nexto plays at 15 actions per second, is it?
That's right.
So it has basically a reaction time of about
70
third.
milliseconds.
Yeah, about a third of what an average person is.
Yeah.
So it's 3 times quicker to react. But on the other hand, it doesn't have a memory of any kind, does it?
That's right.
So it just figures out everything out from what it's basically learned in, or not learned in the past, but what it's kind of figured out over time, and it just kind of looks like it can figure out what it's doing in the future and stuff like that. But it's more just doing what it thinks is right at the moment, right? This is me.
That's right. Yeah. So it basically it looks at sort of a single frame in the game, basically just like one, almost like a screenshot, and it decides to take an action based on that. But it doesn't remember anything that's happened previously in this game at all. It's just making instantaneous decisions based on what it can see right now in the moment and nothing else.
So it means that a lot of the stuff that it does, like any kind of pre-jumping, it is purely just looking at a single frame of the game and deciding this ball is going to end up high in front of the net. And then it starts to jump.
Exactly right.
It might not be pre-jumping, it might just be fast reactions, but it sure looks like pre-jumping.
You know, sometimes it's pre-jumping and sometimes it's fast reactions, but it's almost always these incredible top corner flicks. Look at that. Oh my, that was almost from half court that it flicked the ball right there.
I need to unmute the Kaydop stream so we can hear the French like squeaking. Like with a little delay, you know, so we get it.
So for the person in chat who's asking how does it learn, I'm going to let the machine learning people do this because I will probably get it wrong.
Well, it learns by, you know, trying stuff out, and then we tell it how good that thing was. But we can do maybe like a little Q&A at the end of the show match if people still have these kinds of questions.
But we do see, while we were saying, that Kaydop has slipped in another goal. So it's already getting closer than the last match.
Definitely much better than the last match. You can tell he's much more used to it. Seems to be a little more defensive. I feel like last match he was going for some more aggressive plays, but here he's already caught on to this whole like we've been saying, this pressure from the bots. And certainly the flip resets there. He tries another one.
But if he's got the boost to do it, it's just such a nice and easy way to change the momentum of the ball at a moment's notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we were saying about the bot not seeing the past or the future, it can't tell that you're about to yeet the ball in a sudden change of direction. It just goes, the ball's coming towards me, I'll just jump for this like normal. And then suddenly it's too low or too high on the ball.
Up maybe with an opportunity here, but Nexto comes in, catches the well, made me eat my words, immediately turns the ball around into a counterattack.
And this is another thing we see quite often with Nexto. Not only is it the flicks, but it's the dribbles leading up to it. As you get like, I think it was when Moxie was playing, we had Nexto caught the ball facing its own net and it had already turned and taken the shot within about 3 seconds.
Wow.
Oh, but
yeah.
a kickoff goal there, not what you want to see.
That's just incredible. Yeah, these look at the speed of the redirect on that shot. I mean, it's so hard to predict where it's going to shoot. Kaydop really just has to make a decision and go for it. There's no time to think, and it's just so hard to stop.
Yeah, you've just got to hope. You can see Kaydop doing it there. You want to try and challenge, or fake challenge, I would say, as early as possible, because then what happens is Nexto flicks it. And assuming it isn't just one of the really annoying perfect top corner flicks, usually it puts it in a somewhat savable position. But then you've got to be careful of the second one coming up.
Yeah, there's always another shot, which we see right here. Kaydop just barely unable to get back in time. Good recovery. I think it was close, but yeah, unfortunately, Nexto's going to put that one in.
But we're hoping to see, because this match is almost certainly a write-off for Kaydop now. But it is a
Well,
much
6
better
goals in 5
storyline.
seconds.
You never know.
Okay,
Probably.
If anyone
But
can
we
do
did
it,
see Kaydop improving.
Kaydop training.
Well, that's the best of 3 done. You know, I'm not sure if Kaydop thought that was too easy or not, but maybe we can go to a best of 5.
I guess. He's drinking some water. He's hydrating. Stay hydrated, gamers.
But so
That
we saw
doesn't-
it again this time. Nexto 21 shots to Kaydop's 7. This time, obviously, Kaydop getting a couple more flip reset shots, so it's more goals for him. But also at the same time, Kaydop had 11 saves. Which is like,
Yeah, really impressive.
it's just outstanding in terms of defense. But even then, Nexto managed to get 9 goals. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I mean, its shots are just so hard to stop. I think, you know, looking back on those the goal replays, I don't know what the slowest goal we saw was. What, 97 kilometers an hour? I mean, that it's incredible. It puts shots on the net with such power and so frequently that it's just so hard to stop.
it's just when you've got a fast like flick coming at you, you either have to challenge early and hope it doesn't get flicked by you, or you have to delay it and hope the flick just kind of lands perfectly where you want it. But either way, it's not really a great position, especially not when you've got Nexto, who we've already said multiple times, flicks are just on point, cannot really improve much more than it already is. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
how do you stop it?
Ooh,
And Kaydop
that's
answers
one way to
by
stop
shooting
it.
that.
I think, you know, as Kaydop has just shown us, the way to stop it is to outspeed the bots and not let them even start to get the attack. You know, maybe the best defense is a good offense. You know.
Yeah, it's going off what we heard from Moxie when he played, because he said about the fast aerial plays to try and catch them out of position. But there we go for Nexto. As Kaydop just kind of... That's the problem with the 2v1. You've got the unfair kickoffs.
Yeah.
So Kaydop either risks going up and losing straight into his own net, or risks staying back and then have that happen to him. But either way, it's not a strong position to start from, which I think is one of the reasons why the 2v1 is such a horrible thing to do, to try and win.
Yeah, the 2v1 is definitely an incredibly hard matchup, as we've seen for most people. 1v1, not quite so much. I think the bots are not quite ready to compete at this level in 1v1, but in 1v2, they're as we can see, they're still very impressive, and they're able to keep up even with players of Kaydop's caliber, which is no small feat. I mean, I bet if we picked two random people out of chat, 100,000 times, we probably would not find any matchup of 2 people who could do this well against Kaydop.
That is just a testament to how good Nexto is. Still not SSL yet though, sadly. But
Yeah,
two Nextos,
not quite yet, but it's getting there.
2 Nextos are better than 1 pro. Is what we have figured out a few times now, and we are yet to find a pro that has beaten him in a best of 5.
True, although we did see with Moxie, he was actually playing it on his stream the other day, and he has definitely gotten much better at figuring out those little ways to get around Nexto and those tiny little errors in its behavior that he can exploit, and he's much more consistently able to either tie up or win the 1v2. So it's definitely possible to adapt to Nexto and to overcome it.
That's the one thing with machine learning bots, especially ones that can't exactly learn in real time, is that they don't adapt to your playstyle. They might, if you change up your playstyle a bit, they might already have an answer to that playstyle. But if you find something that's weak in their playstyle, it's weak in their playstyle, and they won't change until they've trained more and figured it out themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's a little easy to sort of think about, well, if the bot's not learning while it plays, then surely we can just find something to exploit. And that's definitely true. But the problem is that if you change up your playstyle to try and find new ways to exploit the bot and expose its weaknesses, what you might find is just more strengths that you haven't seen yet. So it can be really challenging to even find these little mistakes that it makes that you can exploit.
We saw there the rude passing play flick there. You just see Kaydop trying to bait out the flick, and when he finally decides to go for it, Nexto's got him all covered and just yeets it up, and an easy aerial shot for the follow-up. Oh, but a good kickoff there. He takes on both bots and wins. But even then, just the aggression of the Nextos coming in and stopping him from clearing it back out. But we can see more of the aerial plays. He doesn't have enough boost to get a flip reset though, and that's just going to pass the ball straight to Nexto. And that's just going straight into his net. And that is a Brazil. You can just see, like, you have to get the speed change. If you just go for a normal edge ripple, it's got it covered. You've got to change the direction of the ball a pretty substantial amount for it to actually get beaten by it.
Absolutely, and now I think we're pretty concretely saying that Kaydop is not faring too much better against the 1v2 as anybody else has, which isn't too unexpected. But he has, he's been doing some new things. We haven't seen quite as many consistent flip resets as what Kaydop has done, and then we get these, of course, these off the wall shots like this that Fairy was sort of trying to go for. So it seems like Kaydop has picked up on those as well.
And to be fair, there is still 3 minutes left in this match, so it is entirely possible for Kaydop to figure it out and then go for an easy victory.
That's true. It's not over. You can see he's not quite able to fake the bot. I think we've seen him try 3 or 4 times now to fake the flick out of the bot, and he actually did get it one time. But unfortunately, he managed to fake the shot just in time for the other Nexto to come in and capitalize on that. So he's definitely been struggling, and we've seen that as well with the other pros who have played this bot. Is nobody's really able to consistently fake the flick, which is a terrifying thought considering how deadly Nexto's flicks really are.
There's also the other thing of I noticed it a couple times with Moxie, but never actually mentioned it. But seeing it again here made me think of it, which is, as much as Nexto isn't a perfect bot, because its ground play is so good, you'll see it a couple times when it's near its net. If it misreads a ball, no one's ever pushing for it, because they just reach a point where they assume Nexto's going to get it, because of the fact that it gets it all of the other times. And that is an incredibly horrible situation to be in.
Also, like, to be fair, Kaydop is playing version 19, while Ferpig was playing version 17. So
yeah, the bot has trained quite a bit since the last show match that we had, so it is a fair bit better.
Is it SSL yet?
No, probably not on its own. But I mean, even Moxie said that he would say a pair of them was equivalent to an SSL player when he was playing it. So yeah, absolutely.
See, now the scoreline has only gotten wider after I said it wasn't entirely over for Kaydop, so it may be over for Kaydop, especially as Nexto's got the ball with the flick, but it hits the crossbar.
Wow. I mean, looking from my perspective, from a naive bad player's perspective, I feel like Kaydop is going so high up in the air, and even then, it seems like they should be impossible to score these shots. But even when Nexto is not actually scoring in the net, he's getting this bar down shot that lands the ball in an advantageous position for the bot in just a moment after that flick. So it's just always scary.
But we do see the lovely, that one wasn't a flip reset, that was just this normal ceiling shot, but it was a lovely shot, to be fair. Almost a musty flick.
Yep,
And
and
it does
that's
catch
another
him off.
example of really the reason that it's so bad at defending flip resets is that, you know, when Nexto's been training, whenever it goes in the air, it does a classic double jump aerial, right? So it doesn't really understand that you can have your flip when you're flying through the air like that, right? It really never sees that when it's training, so it's not surprising to see that it doesn't really know how to react to those situations when a flip reset happens or somebody fell off the ceiling or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like it is a real blind spot in its thing. Hopefully, at some point, it figures out. Because I think the moment it figures out, not just to do them, but to be able to defend them. Once it figures that out, I think it might be the point where it tips it over to be definitely SSL.
Yeah, I think whenever, you know, if the day ever comes that Nexto, or hopefully Nexto version 3 in the future, will be able to defend these kinds of flip reset shots, or just any shot where you're in the air and you still have your flip, well, you know, God help us all, right?
Yeah.
I think that'll be a real turning point.
Because we've already seen how hard it is to fake the flick out of him. So imagine how hard it is to just going to be to fake him once he figures out a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, I think it'll look a lot different.
Yeah, once he reaches that point, he may be nearly impossible to beat. But obviously, that is an entirely theoretical point because who knows how long it could take.
Well, we have hopes for
version
3.
To be fair, as a lot of machine learning people, what is it? With infinite time, anything is possible, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. We can do anything if you're willing to wait forever.
So maybe if we just give him enough time, he might figure it out.
Yeah.
But we do see with 2 seconds left, that is going to be the best of 5, a complete sweep, or not a complete sweep, but just a sweep. Felt like a complete blowout in 2 of the matches, but definitely very close throughout. It wasn't that it was a just easy victory for Nexto, because there's obviously 14 saves for Kaydop. It's just that the sheer amount of shots, because about half of them shots were saved, but the other half could just not be stopped.
So thanks Brokenochi and Brockfire for the sub.
Yeah, I think we got
A shit ton
was it
of
15?
Yes.
16 gift subs? Yeah, thank you so much everybody for gifting
Oh, no.
subscriptions.
I'm getting
Oh.
getting PTSD from Moxie now.
Best of 7.
Kaydop now wants to do a best of 7.
There we go.
Next thing we
On
know,
to
he's
the
gonna want
best
to
of
change
7.
cars.
It's gonna go. I need the Fennec.
It is just.
All right, here we go. Kaydop convinced that he's figured it out, that he can win this. We're going in for the best of 7. You know, he could make a full reverse sweep. It's never happened before, but the first time for everything.
And to
And
be
listen,
fair,
if there's anyone who could do it, right, it's got to be Kaydop.
And there's not only that, but also what both Moxie and Kaydop have both highlighted here is just the sheer determination of the super high ranked players, because both of them lost horrifically in multiple matches against Nexto, and both of them then continued on to go, I want to play another one. I think I've figured it out, kind of thing.
That seems to be a common mindset with these pros, is that, you know, they think the bots are going to be pretty easy early on, and then when they see how hard the matchup is, that doesn't, you know, it doesn't dissuade them at all. In fact, I think Kaydop is having a pretty good time. And I think it's more like, yeah, like, we have a challenge, let's do this. I want to overcome the challenge, and that I think really speaks to the pro mindset a lot.
And it's not every day that you can say you got completely swept in a best of 7 by some bots.
That's true.
So that is another thing that can go with it.
Kaydop,
Yeah, we just
unfortunately,
do
0-2 in the first 30 seconds, so not looking too good in the beginning of the match, but there's plenty of time left. He can bring it back. We've seen him sink a couple of shots in a row before, so all hope is not lost.
Just about getting the high aerial hits like this, and the flip resets, but he couldn't get the contact on that.
Close.
And as soon as you make the mistake with the
Yeah.
flip reset, that is the risk of it. Flip resets are the only way to beat Nexto, it seems. But the issue is, if you don't manage the flip reset, it's a goal for Nexto.
Yeah,
So
and that's, I think that's really telling about the power of flip resets, which is that they're really, really good, of course, that you can squeeze shots past Nexto with them, but you have to be so consistent, and that I wonder if that's one of the reasons that we haven't seen these machine learning bots start to go for these more difficult plays, is because, even if you let a shot or two in, like we're seeing Nexto do, you're still going to win in the long run if you just have really, really good fundamental mechanics, which Nexto does.
But a hell of a save there from the aerial shot from Kaydop. See Kaydop going for the next flip reset shot. He gets the flip, but he doesn't get the shot. Luckily, he can manage to block the oncoming shot, though. And we see Nexto just aggressing once again, catching Kaydop off on the wall.
That was a great team play. We get a challenge on the wall. Right into the pass from no.
Oh, okay.
Kaydop says he can't do it. He seems to have given up. He thinks he can't win the 1v2. Oh no.
We've reached the point that I think everyone expected someone to hit at one point.
They offer him another best of 5.
Yeah. You should offer him the 1v1. See if he wants to do the see if he wants to crush the bot for a minute, just for a little catharsis.
Oh no, catharsis? No. Let's need to relax. Let's just. No thanks.
Just doesn't want to try the best of 5. So it's doesn't look like Moxie levels of determination, but he really wanted to get that extra best of 7 match in. Is he just completely seething? To be honest, I don't blame him. It is a painful thing to get absolutely bullied off a field. Because me and you did it just before, and I mean we were having a fun time, but even then it was not a close match whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no, we stood no chance.
Still playing.
You can just see the Nexto. It's broken Kaydop. You can add that to your list of achievements. Nexto.
He's truly and utterly beaten.
No. Let's just add an Nexto to his team.
Oh, we've got a Nexto. Love to see it. We've got the blue Nexto. Can't seem to do anything though.
Unfortunately, kid, I'm still not able to save it, even with another Nexto on his team. Yeah, we'd love to get Kaydop in here for an interview to get his thoughts. If that's something he's interested in doing.
Love to hear the thoughts of Pokemon. So what have we had so far? We had the bot that broke Kaydop. We've had. I mean, what would we even call what happened with Moxie? That was just a whole mess, really, of just I can beat it and then being beaten. The bot that won a best of 26, and then just like assorted other pros that have been beaten in best of 5s.
Oof. This is just Nexto versus.
That's kind of toxic, Wrangler.
No, I mean they were just demoing him. That's why.
Yeah, sure.
Hope he isn't hearing, so otherwise he won't shine.
Honestly, all we figured out just before we properly went like live with the voice channel, what we had figured out is that we're basically just slowly taking out every single French person. Because it seems like that's all Nexto's facing.
We're slowly eliminating all the French Rocket League players.
I don't know whether it's just like a combination of just best players being French, or whether just the fact that only the French people want to take it on. But it just seems like Nexto is slowly one by one going through just every single pro French player.
Yeah, it's going all the French pro players first, and then watch out North America. The North Americans next.
Okay.
All right, I think we're gonna get Kaydop in the call for a little bit, hopefully, for a post-match interview. Maybe let him, rage at us a little bit, get his thoughts on the bot.
Where's Rolv when we need him?
Yeah.
To be fair, Rolv can't defend himself, so anything that he complains about, we blame it on Rolv.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
Rolf went to this just so he doesn't have to play Kaydop. Like
he's too afraid from Moxie.
I was about to say, after you get beaten down by one good play, you don't want to get hit by another one, so...
Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to play Moxie or Kaydop. But listen. In all seriousness, of course, Kaydop, we're super grateful that he was willing to come on. This has been so exciting for all of us here at RLGym. We're big fans. We're giddy. I kid you not. We're absolutely giddy that players like Kaydop are willing to come on and play our little bot. We're so happy to have this opportunity. So big shout outs to Kaydop, of course, and thanks so much.
Yeah, it's just so great to have good people coming in to test the bot, and it's entertaining for everyone else to watch, so...
Yeah, I can't believe I have a TCP connection established to 3-time world champion Kaydop.
But as we see, even with another Nexto, they didn't manage to get a goal.
Blue Nexto
Although
throwing.
maybe... Yeah, blue Nexto is not as good as orange Nexto.
Ooh, yep.
Can't believe it.
Oh.
Keep the ball up. Here comes another flick.
Oh, Kaydop can defend that one. Where's the other? There's another orange one. Well, he's just gonna let it drop, I think. Oh no, he does get a flick, but that's gonna drop. And that is...
Oh well.
It was great content to watch, though.
GG's,
Yeah,
that will be it'll be every game in favor of Nexto. Unfortunately, Kaydop not able to take a game off the 1v2. But this is not not an abnormal scoreline. Fairy Peak went 1-2. He lost the 1v2. He took one game. Moxie took what is it?
One game out of
game
13 games, I think. Yeah, it took 13 tries to take a game off the 1v2, and then he immediately lost the next one. So the overall scoreline for Moxie was 15-1.
But saying, wasn't it Astral and Extra both just got completely swept in their match?
In the 1v2, yeah. Astral didn't take a game. Extra, he did, right? He took a game off the 1v2.
I can't remember, it's too long ago.
Yeah, that was a really long time ago, though. So the bot would be... we'd love to get Extra back on if he's available to do that at some point in the future. To do another 1v2 would be really interesting to compare and see how much the bot has improved since the last time that Extra played it.
Supposedly Extra won the 1v3, so that must have been a much older version. Because that would be unheard of here. Although maybe Nexto just prefers twos over everything else.
We do think that it's the best in 2v2.
To the person saying the tough part for the NA players is the thing, that's why we've got H here. He's our NA representative.
Yeah, we have a couple of people in NA who would be available to host if we had NA players who wanted to come play, but for the moment we don't.
Well,
welcome to the
he's
voice
here.
channel.
The man, the legend.
Hey, welcome, Kaydop.
You're muted, by the way.
Oh!
There you go.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing? Very fine, very fine. And you?
That's great. Yeah, we're doing great. It was super exciting to watch you play the bots. That was awesome.
Same feeling, same feeling.
What do you think? What were you expecting at first?
I expect some mistake, but they didn't do mistake, and and I don't know how you code the flick, you know, because they do insane flick, and it's impossible to got, no?
Yeah. Just
it learned all this stuff on its own. We really didn't teach it anything specifically except the kickoffs.
Okay. And how to counter it, the flick, etc.
no, the thing
Is it possible or not?
Well, you know, you tell us. We don't know. We can't do it.
You don't got the same level as your bot?
No, absolutely not.
That's a big lose. But yeah. Oh no. Okay, and did some pro win the best of 5 or not?
no
one yet.
No one yet?
Nope.
But if they got the technique, you know, maybe there is a technique. Do you think someone can beat them if they play all day?
Well, Moxie actually tried after.
Yeah, Moxie did play all day.
I think after game 40 or 50, he started like. He managed to win a best of 5.
Oh, but after 15 game.
No, 50.
50?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He was literally playing all afternoon.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Really. It's really.
Probably not worth it.
And in 1v1, it's better, no?
No, actually, in 1v1, it's just CC, I guess, right? So, or
yeah, it's not very good at 1v1. I think you would win the 1v1 really easily.
yeah.
Okay. I think I will win the 1v2 easily, but not for me.
I like the confidence. Like best of 3, maybe it's too easy. I mean, like, oh no, he doesn't know.
Do you try 3v3 or not with some good people?
Not yet. We are planning to get
not
the
yet.
CCs.
Yeah, we will in the future. It's in the plans.
Okay. I would love to see how it goes.
I mean, if you have a friend and you want to play 2v4, maybe.
2v. Yeah, it will be good.
Or 2v3.
2v4.
I don't know. Maybe the 2v3. Maybe you probably win, but I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
We can try.
We will test, but not today. I cannot today.
Yeah.
But
no
next week, are you ready?
yeah, sure.
Are you ready?
Let me know like in advance, like 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
Because we were going to get Johnny Boy to cast today, but yeah, it was too short.
Okay.
But if you let me know with some time, we will definitely get him for next time.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I send you a message. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Big thanks and good job for the code because I do some work like this on my own, and I think you did a really yeah. And I think you did a really good work. So congratulations. No, really. It's impressive.
Yeah, we're such big fans, Kaydop. So thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, this was awesome.
Thank
and
you.
We'd love to have you on again in the future. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I remember like looking a month ago, I was like, oh, Kaydop is streaming. Maybe we can get.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, go. You have an audience to entertain.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
So I send you a message and we will do it again.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, you too.
Oh, and
Thanks
good
a lot.
luck this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
I hope there is no bot in front of me anymore.
Listen, we'll send a Nexto with you, and you can bust it out just in case.
Oh yeah.
You can maybe make them play before to demoralize them.
I will try. I will try. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye.
Thanks a lot.